Suki Sennett is a member of the League, and she's a staff person to the Marin Telecommunications Agency. And she's here today to bring us up to date on what's going on with the public media in Marin County. Suki?
Well, first of all, I'm going to start out explaining to you what the Marin Telecommunications Agency is. It is a joint powers agency, such as SASM is.
Aha.
And it's made up of 11 cities, not Novato, who will probably be coming in soon, and the county of Marin. And all of our directors are elected officials. They're either mayors or councilmen, which makes us very, very unique as a joint powers authority in Marin. And as I was saying earlier before we went on air, we're a unique agency in that we are doing comprehensive planning. But our area is telecommunications. And we were created to do comprehensive planning, which, as you know, in Marin is a difficult issue because there's a lot of sort of proprietary interest among our communities and some of our agencies, which is nice because it preserves some of the characters of our towns and provides for really local community input, but it's very difficult to plan and save money and go into efficiency. The MTA was charged with renewing the Comcast franchise agreement. As part of the renewal process, which took 9 years because we dealt with 3 different television companies, part of the public benefit under federal law is that there should be grants for public access programming, educational programming, and government programming. The letters are PEG, P-E-G. Okay. And the board of the MTA has always been very interested in how we're going to deliver the $3 million that we got for our access programming, make it more efficient and distributed throughout the county, throughout all of the communities. And it was decided to create a nonprofit called the Community Media Center of Marin, CMCM. That has been about a 16-month process, starting from scratch. The League of Women Voters was a presence. Donna still serves on an advisory committee, right. But they were also very active on the creation of what we call a board of conveners, which went out and searched for as much diversity geographically, age, income, race as possible as you can get in Marin.
How many people are on that board now, Suki?
We have 15 members, and it is very diverse, and it's a very, very impressive board. They have just hired a new executive officer who will come on board mid-July, I think, with the idea of starting the Community Media Center by January 1st.
Oh, great.
Now, what the Community Media Center is right now, it's a facility, but it's more important than just a television facility. It's a bunch of equipment, because most of programming, public programming, community programming, is not so much going to be television as we know it, such as the studio we're in right now. Yeah. We're in a studio, you know, with 3 cameras and lights and a control room. But because of the portability, for instance, of television equipment, you can put a whole studio in a suitcase. You can edit, film, do the whole thing. But we now have the web.
Yeah.
And we have some leadership in Marin from the county. The county is webcasting, I'm going to use probably the wrong word, but it's webcasting the Board of Supervisors meetings.
And that's part of the G in PEG?
That's the G in government. Uh-huh. Some of the other cities are really interested in what the county is doing. The county is also programming via the web and YouTube an enormous amount of material that is of importance to local communities, everything from cultural events to training for firemen. Mm-hmm. Now we have several cities really interested in this. San Rafael has taken some leadership. They're going to be bringing what they call Granicus, which is what the county uses. I won't even get into it, to show some of their meetings. We have Sausalito very interested, Mill Valley, and Fairfax very interested. We have absolutely no history in Marin of public access programming. In fact, it's going to be very, very difficult for the new community media center to explain what the heck this thing is, because it changes every day, by the way.
Do these changes represent a change in the opportunities in the media that are available to the public?
Oh,
is that
absolutely.
part of what makes it so hard to explain?
Yeah, it's very difficult because the technology changes every single day.
Right.
How we deliver the message, how we deliver the content.
It's one of the things we're working with this program.
Absolutely. Why don't we talk about
You know,
what the league is doing?
you
We're
know,
on
and-
YouTube.
Right. We're trying. I think we've just put this on YouTube, and we should be able to get it from our website pretty soon. Because just broadcasting it over a television channel is not the whole story anymore.
Well,
So there's a problem.
Go ahead.
How do we know what's on and when? How do you find it?
that has been a real problem. I don't even want to get into it.
Sorry.
Because we are over Comcast on channel 26. Cable companies are not crazy about PEG programming. It was put on them by the federal government, they feel, because it is part of the public benefit.
Right.
When we give a franchise, when a government or JPA like I work for, when we give a franchise, we give them the right to use the public rights of way to send their wires, to go above, underground. They're paying rent. And the federal government believes, as does local government, that there has to be a public benefit from giving this
That's
right,
right.
which is a very valuable right. And part of the public benefit is access programming.
For the public.
For the public. I am very G-oriented, I have to tell you. I think transparency in government is very, very important. There has been some resistance by some of our local governments to having their council meetings on either on the web or on cable.
Yeah.
But I think the recognition is that they must be transparent. And it does affect a little bit how they do their meetings. But after a while, you get absolutely used to it, and you don't, grandstand. You just go ahead and do your business.
Do your business.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does take getting used to.
Oh, absolutely. Look at us.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're still practicing here.
We're still practicing here too.
Well, maybe Peter, you can broadcast LAFCO when you
Yes.
get ready.
Well, you mentioned the Granicus system that San Rafael may set up. Our meetings are held in the San Rafael City Council chambers, and so
they are.
my commission is certainly going to be interested in, can we contribute to your Granicus expenditures getting set up, and
uses
can we use it when we have our meetings?
Yeah, that would be great.
These are going to be view-on-demand systems, so
Granicus is, yes.
Yeah.
if you're not at home on Tuesday morning at 10:30, you can still get the Board of Supervisors at 10:30 at night.
Not only that, but you can
index.
dial this up on the web, and it's indexed very comprehensively, and you can type in text of the topics that you're wanting to hear about rather than wading through the whole meeting.
Yeah, I
It
want to
will-
hear
it will go
item
through to
A,
the video of that particular item.
So you don't even have to watch the whole program.
No.
Well, thank you, Suki. It's been good.
Well, it's exciting times.
It's really interesting.
I would want to
information.
add one thing. The $3 million that Comcast gave us for the Media Center will run out in about 2 years. We can only use it for capital and equipment expenses. We may not, under federal law, use it under operating. So one of the challenges of this very large and diverse board of directors is going to be raising money to keep operating in the third year and beyond.
Okay. Well, we'll get you back here.
Oh, yeah.
Tell us how you're.
I think
the
we
whole
should
thing
bring
is doing.
somebody off from the board, perhaps.
Right.